Healthcare software is in one of the strongest growth phases we have ever seen. Global digital health spending has already crossed $500 billion, and projections show it moving toward $900 billion by the end of the decade. Hospitals are upgrading their systems, payers are shifting toward automation, care delivery is moving beyond clinics and into homes and virtual settings. All of these point to one simple fact. Building healthcare software in 2026 is no longer a secondary idea, it is the core foundation for how modern healthcare will operate. If healthcare software development is on your roadmap, this video will walk you through the development process, the costs involved, and the real factors that determine your final investment. Let us begin. The first thing to understand is why healthcare software is booming. One reason is clinical efficiency. Hospitals need systems that automate documentation and reduce the administrative load on clinicians. The second reason is the transformation of care delivery. Telehealth, home-based care, remote monitoring, and virtual triage are becoming routine clinical workflows. The third reason is interoperability and artificial intelligence. FHIR native systems and predictive analytics are quickly becoming baseline expectations, not luxury add-ons. Now, before estimating cost, you need clarity on what type of healthcare software you want to build. Some teams build full EHR systems similar to Epic, or more modern modular versions. Others focus on telehealth platforms, remote patient monitoring ecosystems, healthcare CRMs, medical billing systems, hospital management systems, lab or imaging software, AI-powered diagnostics, medical device connectivity platforms, or pharmacy and prescription systems. Each category requires different technology, integrations, and regulatory pathways. This is why the cost varies so widely. Now, let us break down the main phases of development and the typical investment required in each phase. The first phase is research, discovery, and compliance planning. This involves understanding clinical workflows, mapping interoperability needs, identifying FHIR and HL7 requirements, and planning for HIPAA or GDPR compliance. This stage usually costs between $5,000 and $30,000. The second phase is UI and UX design. Healthcare design requires accessibility, clarity, and user flows suited for both patients and clinicians. This stage usually falls between $8,000 and $40,000. The third phase is back-end development. This includes building APIs, data models, role-based access, audit logging, encryption layers, interoperability modules, and analytics engines. Back-end development can cost anywhere from $20,000 to $120,000 depending on complexity. The next phase is front-end development. This includes clinician dashboards built with React or Vue and mobile apps built with Flutter or React Native. This typically costs between $15,000 and $80,000. After that comes integrations. This is one of the biggest cost drivers. Connecting to EHR systems like Epic or Cerner, integrating medical devices, enabling eligibility checks, adding payment systems, or supporting HL7 and FHIR exchanges can cost anywhere from $10,000 to $150,000 or more. If your system includes artificial intelligence or decision support, you must add the cost of model development, testing, and validation. AI features can cost between $20,000 and $200,000. Next comes testing and quality assurance. Healthcare requires security testing, performance testing, clinical scenario testing, and full interoperability testing. This stage costs between $10,000 and $50,000. Then you have deployment and cloud setup. Building a HIPAA-grade cloud environment and establishing monitoring pipelines usually costs between $5,000 and $25,000. Once the platform is launched, you must also budget for post-launch support. Regular updates, compliance patches, and new features typically cost between $3,000 and $15,000 per month. Now, let us talk about the final totals. Basic healthcare platforms such as telehealth, scheduling, or simple patient engagement apps generally cost between $40,000 and $120,000. Mid-level platforms such as remote patient monitoring, lab systems, hospital administration tools, or small EHR modules typically cost between $120,000 and $300,000.
Enterprise-grade platforms, such as full EHR systems, complex HIS systems, or advanced diagnostic software, can range from $300,000 to $800,000 or more. The most advanced platforms, such as AI-driven diagnostic tools or full-scale multi-system healthcare ecosystems, often cross $1 million after regulatory approvals, safety testing, and clinical validation. Your final cost depends on 5 major factors. 1. The complexity of the platform. 2. The number of integrations. 3. The level of security and compliance required. 4. Whether AI is part of your system. And 5. The geographic location of your development partner. Outsourcing to teams in Eastern Europe, LATAM, or South Asia can significantly reduce total cost while still maintaining top-tier technical and regulatory quality. Now, let us quickly cover monetization. Healthcare software can generate revenue through software subscriptions for hospitals and clinics, per-patient billing, enterprise licensing, API-based pricing, AI module upgrades, device plus software bundles, and white label licensing for clinics or manufacturers. With the development workflow, cost structure, and revenue models clear, the next step is building your strategy and architecture. Healthcare software is at the center of the biggest transformation wave in this industry, and teams that move early secure the strongest market position. If expert guidance helps, reach out to us. At Intellifone, our team brings more than a decade of experience building EHR systems, AI-driven healthcare platforms, medical device connectivity, hospital automation systems, and full-scale enterprise healthcare solutions. If you are planning to build healthcare software in 2026, we would be happy to help you bring it to life. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one.